What is up, everybody? I have just spent the last couple of days binge spending on Amazon Prime Day and opening a whole host of boxes, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna get a coffee on my brand new coffee machine, and then we're gonna talk about it. So let's do that. Check out my brand new toothbrush. It's got 5 different settings. It's super powerful. Woo! It's like brushing your teeth with a power tool. It's decaf because, you know, Adderall, but I mean, it still tastes pretty good. All right, let's dig into it then. So, we just had Amazon Prime Day. I don't know about you guys, but I spent like a ton of money. I just couldn't even help myself. Like everything I saw, I just wanted to buy, and I just kept going and going until I think we tallied up around 30 plus items that we had delivered over the last couple of days. It has been crazy. I was sat there amongst all the tons of items that I bought thinking, why did I even buy this stuff? Like feeling super guilty about spending all this money. And it got me thinking, like, is this a trait of ADHD? Like, and it kind of, and it is really. I mean, if you look at it, people with ADHD, we have like impaired executive functions, right? So we have trouble regulating our emotions. We are super over impulsive. We are like super disorganized. And I saw like little traits of all of these things linking with my Amazon Prime spending splurge. So looking at them like individually, you have like emotional regulation, which is a problem for people with ADHD. We are just so over emotional or over invested emotionally in certain things. Like to me, I can be in like a bad mood, but once I start to kind of go online and look at things to buy and look at things to spend, it makes me like emotionally happy, and then I'm like chasing that high of being happy again. It kind of brings me out of any bad mood that I'm in, and that's where it gets dangerous, right? Because like I can just spend any amount of money because I just want to feel better. Looking at impulsivity in ADHD, it's pretty wild, especially personally for me. Like I am one of those people who, if I see something, I have to have it. And if I don't get it there and then, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna think about it until I do get it. And we tried this thing once where like you write down the thing that you want and then you leave it like 2 weeks or 3 weeks and then you revisit it, right? And you see like if you wanna buy it still. Honestly, it was the worst for me. I had this list and I just kept looking at it every 5 minutes until I was like, well, maybe if I'm still gonna want it. I know I'm still gonna want it. And the worst part about Amazon Prime Day for me was like, all these deals are right there. They're literally tons of deals, and not only are there tons of deals, but they have a deadline on them. So they have like, this one's only here for an hour or for 2 hours. And then that like sparks something within me where I'm like, I need to have this thing, I need to have it now. If I don't get it now, then it's gonna be gone and I won't be able to get it for this price. It's just a click away as well. It's not even like you have to go anywhere. You just press a button and it comes to you. Like I just could not hold back. And it started out as like a reasonable thing. Like I was buying things that we needed or that, you know, we've been waiting for a while. So the coffee machine, the Nespresso machine, is something that we've really wanted for a while. We really have. With Amazon Prime Day, it was like 80 bucks cheaper, like $80. So we had to get that. I got a couple of filters that I needed for lenses. That was also something useful. I got a new softbox for my flash. But then that's when we started to notice things that we liked. that were still cheap, so we started to buy them as well. I don't know if any of you guys have checked out my photography. I work with a lot of colors and I work with a lot of like tiny lights, all that kind of stuff. So then I saw these really cool light things that I ended up buying one of them, and then I ended up buying the other one, and they're exactly the same thing pretty much. Let me show you. This is one of them. It's kind of like, I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of like a nightlight thing, and it has all these stars and a moon on it and stuff, and it like changes colors. And about this one too, that's like the same kind of thing. It's like a globe, but this one, you have a fancy remote that goes with it too. So, I mean, it's the exact same thing that I just bought, so I ended up buying two of them. Then of course I bought myself a fancy new keyboard with fancy glowing buttons. I bought everything from chargers to USB ports to adapters to extension cables. And then we went further, and then I was buying stuff like washing up liquid and dishwasher tablets and cat treats. The cat treats were the funniest because I only wanted to buy one box, but you couldn't just buy one box. You had to buy them as a pack, which was over $20 or whatever. So I ended up with 5 boxes of cat treats. Look at this, it's insane. So things had changed from, do I need this thing or do I just want this thing? And pretty soon I couldn't even tell the difference anymore. And you know, like, this is like a huge part of ADHD. I mean, that release that you get of dopamine when you buy things, it's like that gratification that you've got something. I got told that I have an addictive personality, and it's true in a sense. I do things and I cannot stop doing them. I'm the same with, you know, if I ever drink, then I have to keep going and going. When I'm dieting, if I eat anything, I have to keep going and going with it. They say like, what, grazing's better, but I don't know about you guys. I'm the sort of person who, like, I get food to graze on. I could get, like, let's say a bag of like nuts. I'll sit there and I'll be like, right, yeah, I've grazed a little bit now, I'll save them for later on. And then I'm sat there and I'm like, yeah, I'll just eat a few more. And then like that's it. I can't help myself. I have to keep going and going because they're there. It's like the same thing with spending. Once you start spending and you get that gratification, you just have to keep going. Here's how it affects me organizationally. Again, Amazon Prime Day, I bought all these lens filters, and then when I finally got them and I was putting them away, I realized that I already had the same filter. I was so impulsive to buy it that I just bought it right out, didn't even think about whether or not I had the other ones. I was too impulsive to even go and check and see if I had them. If I was organized, I would have known, because it would have been with the rest of my stuff and not like in some random bag somewhere, which is where it was. But this Prime stuff just like goes back to everything in my life. Like, I am so impulsive with my money that I just have to spend it. I just have to do it because it feels good and I get that release of dopamine. And that's what it's always been like. And to me, I'm like, well, it's no big deal, but I mean, it is a big deal. For, let's say, my wife, it's pretty frustrating, you know, but for me, it's like, that's all I've known. Now, luckily, things like Prime Day and let's say like Black Friday or January sales, all that kind of stuff, luckily they only come round very rarely. And these kind of things were stuff that I never experienced as a kid. Black Friday wasn't really a thing in England, and obviously Amazon Prime wasn't a thing either. And it's like one of those things that, you know, like where you never got to do something as a kid, you end up like binging it when you're older. I don't know if it's something to do with that or it is mainly my ADHD, but I think it's probably a combination of the both. And, you know, it's something that I have to get under control, I guess, and try to deal with. But, you know, being told that you have an addictive personality before I knew about ADHD was something that kind of scared me a little bit, because it makes you feel like you can't do certain things that other people do, because if you do, you're going to go over the top with it and then you're going to end up in a really bad situation. And that's kind of scary, and it stops you from doing certain things. It was something that I really struggled with my weight. I felt like I couldn't stop myself, and I don't know if like that's part of like a built mentality in my mind that I'm gonna be, at some point I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna have to eat this stuff, but then I'm not gonna be able to get back off it, and you kind of set your own mindset with that. But truthfully, it's pretty cool to see that like all these things, like the impulsivity, the emotional issues, the lack of organization, that all these different things are aspects of ADHD, and combined, that's what gives you the problems with like money and stuff. ADHD is manageable, so you know that like you can get a handle on all those other stuff as well, so I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you guys have some similar issues when it comes to money. I'd love to hear about it down below. Let me know what problems you guys have with money. Let me know if you have any cool ways to solve that problem, or at least better ways to deal with it that doesn't have you spending hundreds of dollars on Amazon Prime Day. Like the video if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay up to date with all of my new content, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.